Hello everyone, my name is Saurabh. In this particular video, I am going to discuss about the DOM APIs in a JavaScript. DOM API is a very important concept of a JavaScript. Before understanding in a JavaScript, first we need to understand what is DOM and how DOM API help to manipulate the HTML page. As we know, HTML is a static web page. HTML doesn't have any logical mind in it. We cannot do any dynamic task with the help of HTML only or a CSS. They are just for representing the data on the browser. They just help us to display the data on the browser. That's all about the HTML. But in case if you want to do some operation or some operation like deleting an element, creating an element, updating an element, or any manipulation that you want to do in a HTML page, you cannot directly do that. Any language, even a JavaScript cannot directly interact with the element because a language or any scripting language cannot understand the elements. They do not aware about the element tags, right? They are not aware about the tags, like whether the H1 tag is what. So we have come up with the idea of the DOM. This is DOM, Document Object Model. What we have done in this idea, we have created a tree-like structure of our HTML code. Whatever the code you written in the HTML, browser will generate a DOM tree of that code, right? Whatever the HTML code you written, a DOM API, DOM, actually the browser create a DOM of it, a tree of it, which help us to manipulate the page. Because the DOM tree have everything in an object view. Whatever you see in the DOM is either the object or the node. That is the quality of DOM. That is why we need DOM. So whenever somebody asks you why DOM is required, because we want to manipulate in the HTML page and directly it is not possible. That is why we convert the HTML page into the objects with the help of DOM. So this is the requirement of a DOM. An API is simply a mediator with the help of we manipulate the DOM, right? That is why this term comes, DOM API, right? There are multiple DOM APIs available in a JavaScript. We will discuss each and everything, right? So let's discuss. Before understanding DOM API, first we need to understand how this tree is formulated, this tree is generated. Suppose this is my simple HTML page. Suppose this is head and this is my title, and suppose I am having like a docs, right? And I am putting it as a title, and this is our body, and I am writing H1 in a body, H1 tag and hello, and that is how I am closing my H1 tag, and this is how closing the body. Now I am closing my HTML, right? So this is a structure, basic structure, is a very basic program which is just representing. If you write this program in a browser, in a HTML file, you will find there is a hello on the screen and the title will be docs. So when you run this page, what browser do? Browser will generate a DOM page. So you can say that DOM, a document object model, it is a kind of a tree. Suppose who is the highest in this page? Who is the parent of this page? The top parent is always a document, right? Because it is first, let's discuss the hierarchy. So I am just removing that much part. Okay. Just write it there. This is the title. I am not closing them, but doesn't mean they are required closing, right? But I am not closing because of this space, so that we can actually visualize the diagram. So at the top, what we have? Window. What is that window? Window is actually the window. Above the window, we have the navigator also, which is actually the browser. which provide this functionality to us. And the browser, we are opening a window. That window, you can say whatever the data you see in the window, that is not the window, right? In the window, we have document, clear? In a document, what we have? We have HTML, that HTML, right? In this HTML, we have interesting two things. Now things are divided into three, like we have one head and one body. In head, what we have? We have a title. In the title, we have one leaf. Leaf is represented by the oval, right? What we have to write? Docs. In the body, we are having the H1 tag. So I am writing as H1. H1 is having hello. So this hello is written here. Okay, sorry, my mistake. This should be in leaf, or a data should be in a oval. So this should be hello in a oval. So that is how a browser generate a DOM structure of your HTML page, right? So all this element whichever they written here become the object now. And with the help of document, because at the top of all this data, what we have? We have document, or you can also access with the help of window. But primarily, we have document. So with the help of document, you can access each and every element. Because these are known as a nodes. This is also node, this is node. And when you write this provided node list, you can also access with the help of JavaScript, right? So let's discuss what are the APIs that manipulate this data. Okay. I am removing this part so that we can write some more things here. So it is removed. So first before understanding the DOM APIs, you should know about the class and the IDs. IDs are the unique. In every element, in every tag, we have unique ID. That this ID belongs to that. In HTML, if you are applying multiple times a single ID, this will not generate any issue. But JavaScript does not expect that you are having the multiple same ID, right? This should not be done. In the class is used for making the multiple classes from the multiple elements, right? So I am creating some DOM API. The first DOM APIs we have is a get element. So first one is get element by ID. Get element by, and here you need to write the ID. Suppose you are passing any unique ID, right? So get element ID, what it is? Actually, it is one of the most used APIs of a JavaScript, which can help us to manipulate the DOM. So this will, suppose you are writing a HTML tag here, like suppose you are writing H1 and you are writing as a ID equal to unique, right? And suppose there is some data purpose hello, and you are now closing your H1 tag. Cool. So that is how you are writing in a HTML page. This is a static page. The browser will convert this data in a DOM or a tree structure. With the help of this, we are passing this data to here. We are grabbing this data, we are grabbing this unique to here. With the help of, we are identifying this whole data. Or once we identify it, we can simply manipulate it, we can delete it, we can remove, or we can do anything. Whatever the operation you are coming in your mind, you can done with the help of grabbing the element, right? Or it is very dynamic. That is why JavaScript is so popular in a web development, because in a client side, it is very hard to do, to manipulate things like that. So that is why it is a very important thing. We are just grabbing the ID and manipulating it and everything. Suppose you want to change the data hello to hi, you can do with the help of multiple operations. Like you can use inner text content. We will discuss each and everything. Don't worry about it. So just grab the concept. What is how we can grab the element of a HTML in a JavaScript. Once the element is grabbed, once the element is captured, we can do anything, right? So this is our first API. We will discuss 6 more. So I am removing this part. Second one, get element by get element 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 by class name CLAS class name, right? As you know, we define the classes in the HTML phase for JavaScript work. Sorry, for CSS, applying the one single CSS to the multiple elements. We apply the classes, we have used the concept of classes. You can grab the element with the help of class name also. What you need to do, just you need to pass, after this, you need to pass the class name here. Right? Or as I already told you that you can grab multiple elements. We are grabbing multiple elements by the single statement. So that is why it is going to return a kind of an array. Because it can be single, it can be multiple, right? So it will going to return an array which is known here as a collection. It is more or less a it is more or less as a array, but it is the terminology which used exactly here is a collection, right? And you can iterate it like an array also. Clear? So this is known as a HTML elements. Exact term is HTML element. HTML collection actually. This is known as a HTML collection. So I will not go deep down in this. So first you need to remember, whenever you want to grab an element on the basis of the class, you can use that. Clear? The third one. Okay, let's discuss. I am not removing this part. I am just removing this initial part. Get element by class name, ID and the tag name. Tag name and the parenthesis. Suppose you want to grab all the elements which are defined by the h1. Suppose h1. So this is h1. Suppose here is another h1. So in this case, if you want to target all these multiple elements, you can use this. Actually, they are providing you multiple ways to grab the DOM, or you can say the HTML page. You can use the ID, you can use the class, you can use the name tag, you can use the name also. We are going to discuss the name also. So with the help of tag, this is also going to return a collection, right, or array. You can also iterate there. You need to pass the index number if you are individually doing so. If you want to grab any element via this help, and you need to write this here so that you can grab the proper element. You need to write it here after this parenthesis. Suppose I want to grab the first one. You can do with this help of it, right? So this is all about the get element by tag name. Now we will discuss get element by name. It is more or less same. Get element by name, right? Get element by name. Whenever you are providing a name in the tag, you can grab it by this help of this. This is also going to return a kind of collection or an array which is also iterable. You can iterate with the help of 0 or a 1. Suppose you want to access the 1, because indexing starts from the 0, right? So you can pass any number according to the index, because we cannot go bound the array in number of the bound the array index, right? So this is all about the get element by name. So we have discussed up 4: get element by ID, class name, tag name, or name, right? There are 2 modes available, which is quite interesting and different from all these similar difference. Sorry, query QUE. Sorry. Just a minute. query selector. This is a kind of a API. You can pass anything here. You can pass a class name with the help of dots. You can pass ID with the help of hash. You can pass tag. You can pass a class name, as I told you, class name or a name even, right? But this will going to return the first one. First element will be written by this query selector. Clear? Every first matching element it will going to return you. I have described it very clearly in the article also. You can check that article in which I have described the example, elaborated the example more clearly. That will help you really, right? So after this, we have the last one, which is a selector all. Query, there is a one addition, selector all. Let me finish or remove this part. Query selector all. Query selector all. What is the difference between query selector all and the query selector? It will also going to accept all the parameters which is accepted by the query selector. Like class name, you need to write the dot before it. For a ID, you can write hash, and that is how you can pass any kind of data here, almost a class or an element or a name also. So, but what is the difference? It will going to return not the first, it will going to return all the elements, and it will going to return a node list, right? This is a very important term, node list. The query selector all return a node list, right? And the class, get element by class name, return the HTML collection. There is a difference between this. We will discuss in a separate video. So this is all about the DOM APIs available in a JavaScript. I hope this video helped you. For more detail or further reading, you can check out my article also. Keep watching, keep learning. Do not forget to subscribe and comment in the comment section. This really helped me to motivate myself for making more such videos. Thank you.